What's up guys, it's Stock Picks by Tim, and in this video today I'm going to go over VGX token. I'm also going to look over Voyager digital stock, VYGVF, and some recent short interest info, and we're also going to look over Bitcoin's chart briefly. Now if you're new here, consider hitting the like, subscribe, and notification bell. I put out daily videos, and if you're returning, don't forget to hit the like. It definitely helps me out a lot. And make sure you check out the links below for some free crypto and stocks. And let's start off here with some short interest info for VYGVF. Alright, now this was just dropped today, and of course I'll leave you guys the link below so you can look through it yourself. But as of the end of March, there was short interest totaling 1.5 million shares, which is actually a decrease of nearly 40% from March 15th of 2.5 million shares. And keep in mind that March 15th for a lot of stocks was a huge low point. So I find that very interesting, that it just so happens when most stocks overall reach a low point and then that short interest declined quite a bit. So for those of you looking for short interest plays, seeing that short interest has gone down, that might be a negative for some of you. But I personally see this as a positive. That shows me that Wall Street is more weary of shorting this company in this $4 area. And it is currently at that magical 420 number. It had a 52-week low of 416 and a 52-week high of 2460. So we are considerably beaten down from that roughly $25 area. And me personally, I haven't pulled the trigger and bought VYGVF. My play for Voyager is just VGX token, but I am really considering buying some VYGVF, especially in this $4 range. And also, as for VYGVF, it does have an average rating of buy, with an average 1-year price target among analysts at 21.19. So that is just about a 5x from here. Although they have been reducing their price, but this is one thing that typically happens. When you see a stock start trending down, the analysts start giving lower price targets, and it just seems they're very quick to change their minds. But of course, with the stock market, new data comes through, new things change. Of course, it's okay to always change your mind. But I just find it funny that on the way down, these analysts just start dropping those price targets, and on the way up, they just start increasing those price targets. And looking at some stats here for Voyager, you'll see the forward PE is under 8, the price to sales is under 2, and the EV to EBITDA is lowest it's ever been at 1851, although still somewhat high, you could argue. But I definitely like this compared to where it's traditionally traded at. And also, cash to debt. They have no debt, about 150 million in cash. I think that's looking pretty good too. And I have mentioned this before, but for those of you that haven't watched a previous video, they did give an update on the state orders regarding their Voyager Earn program. As said by the CEO, I want to emphasize to our shareholders and customers that only one of our products is noted in the orders. Voyager has always recognized that the US framework must evolve, and in some cases completely transformed to address the needs of the rapidly expanding crypto sector. Historically, Voyager has advocated for thoughtful regulation, which is a natural progression for this asset class. Voyager continues to have ongoing communications with these state regulators to better understand the terms of their orders and clarify certain statements. So this is still in the works. We're still trying to dissect what's going on here. Worst case scenario, Voyager will be forced to stop their Earn program, and this may cause a decline in VGX. And that is one risk that you have to be willing to take if you are going to buy VGX or even Voyager Digital the stock. Now looking at VYGVF on the chart here, before we look at VGX, you will see they're both in a downtrend lately, as is the case for many smaller caps. I personally want to see this break that 300 MA. And that may be the first time that I decide to open up a position in VYGVF on a swing, just to have the best situation possible, because currently this is still in a downtrend. And keep an eye on this pattern. We are consolidating down. We're either going to break to the up or downside, and this may give it a little bit of oomph here. But I personally want to see it break this green line. This is the 300 MA. It's gotten close. It's had a few breakouts, and you know, it's had a few false breakouts as well. But I would much rather add to this when that trend is kind of going up than when it's still going down. Now, it's not foolproof. You could, of course, get faked out. For instance, right here, get faked out of it here. Otherwise, you know, if it goes up considerably too far too fast, take some profits, get back in at a better point. That's just my thoughts for VYGVF. I really haven't been in it yet. But let me know in the comments below, do you have VYGVF or do you have VGX? And which are you more bullish on and why? Now, looking at VGX, before we look over Bitcoin's chart real quick, you'll see that we are still in this downward channel. It's a very similar chart to VYGVF, but slightly different. But same thing goes here. We are in a downtrend. Look for it to break out of this trend, this downward trend. I want to see it break out and start pushing higher. For this one thing to watch for is the 200 EMA. Personally, I would watch for the 200 EMA and get a nice breakout. Get a candle that closes above this red line here. And you could definitely trade that on some momentum. I personally see VGX, while it's under $2, as a great time to average through. While it's under $1.50, a great time to load the boat, personally. but do be aware that there is definitely risk with this one. And if it hits the fan in terms of regulation, there might be some more downturn. I'm definitely very bullish on VGX, and honestly, I should have VYGVF too, because I do believe in the executive team, and they've been continuing to innovate. We're getting wallets, we're getting NFTs on Voyager's platform soon, we're also going to have stock trading. And they're also expanding to Europe. There's very many reasons to be bullish on VYGVF, and I think the rewards overshadow the risk, personally. But don't be willing to put money in that you're not willing to lose, because there is risk to this one. It is definitely a smaller cap crypto. You know, if you wanted to go with something more safe, you could definitely go into Bitcoin or Ethereum or something. But for me, I feel like this will have a huge reward potential if things do go right. You know, it's very unlikely you're going to see Bitcoin 10x over the next 3-5 years, but VGX, I could definitely see 10x, even more, if things go as planned. But that is a big if. All right, now here we are at Bitcoin, and if you zoom in, we kind of have a potential bit of a head and shoulders here. I would say, here's a shoulder, there's a head. We may push down, the pattern might not follow through, sometimes they don't, but that's something to be aware of. And also look out for this trend line. We've hit it a few times. If we break from this, we may see some more bearishness, but we need to hold over this roughly 38.2 or so. And if it falls very quickly, we're going to need to hold above about 38. But I'd say over the next couple days, as long as we don't just completely drop, by the next couple days, as long as we're over 38.2, 38.5 or so, so by about end of April, we'll be in the green, as long as we're still over 38. It's nice to see it starting to hold that 40. And to me, it's a good sign that we didn't chop around this 38 to 40. We just kind of tested the top end of it and then just bounced up. So we still do have this area of support here that hasn't been broken. So if we do pull back, it's very likely we can use this as a support. We kind of just tested the upper end of it. So to me, that's some bullishness on Bitcoin. And zooming in, you'll see we've been having some nice higher lows here. Although we have been seeing lower highs. So, you know, take that for what it is. But that's all I got for you today, guys. Just a quick update on some crypto, some VGX stuff, VYGVF, and Bitcoin. What are you most bullish on in crypto overall? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, take it easy.